Hey, I don't know about you, but I've been really thinking about starting a new podcast series, and I'm not really sure what to go with. I've been thinking about it the whole time, and I really don't know what to do, and I'm just trying my best to. I always been thinking about what to do, animated or not, and I really don't know what the greatest option is because there's just so
I
many things to
hate
talk
to
about.
interrupt you, but we gotta start living the DreamWorks.
You have something there.
Da 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 da. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pixar Perspectives. What the fuck? Welcome, everybody, to a brand new podcast series. This is going to be a long-term project for many reasons. But we, because of the failure of the Disney Channel original roulette, we are doing Living the DreamWorks, where we cover every single DreamWorks animated feature film. I don't know if we're gonna count the one straight to video movie that they did.
Maybe for a one-off, depending on how we're feeling. Maybe.
Maybe because there are so many DreamWorks movies. Like,
you know what?
When we was coming up with this idea, we looked it up. Like, oh my god, DreamWorks had been busy.
I believe there are 43.
Oh god, there might be 48 at this point already because they just released 6 more yesterday. But this is a big one.
Yep.
And we're gonna start off with. I'll first start off by saying it wasn't supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
But it was not supposed to start with this. We were if all had gone well, if there wasn't this petty feud, it would have started with Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
But instead, we're talking Antz.
Yeah, we're talking about Antz. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can I just say before we start, I'm really excited to do this series because my favorite thing about DreamWorks is that there isn't really a consistent pattern with how the quality of their movies are.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the parts that's going to be adventurous. Because as I go through the list, Pixar is very, obviously we did Pixar Perspective, and we're still doing Pixar Perspective. But Pixar is very, very much trying to craft its own image of Pixar. And DreamWorks does a bajillion different things.
Yes.
Sometimes it's going to do a biblical epic. Sometimes it's going to do Captain Underpants. And then there's everything in between. There's just so many different faces of DreamWorks.
Yes. Just like we are so many different faces of people in this podcast who should introduce themselves.
Nice! 3 minutes in, we get to the introductions. I'm Claire.
Yeah, I was like, we should probably do this. So,
yes.
I'm Random Bystander here.
I'm the Wash.
I said I'm Claire already. You missed your chance.
That's all you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Listen. New podcast, new Claire.
Good point.
That's right. It's a new year. It hasn't quite been 4 years since Pixar Perspective started, but it's almost there. So we might as well go to the arch rival of Pixar.
Yep, DreamWorks. Which do we want to go first? Do we want to go straight into Antz, or do we want to talk about how DreamWorks became exactly what it was?
Well, okay, so it started off with a petty asshole.
You put it very lightly.
Yeah, it's
I
very
can give
lightly.
you the cliff notes because there's so much to get into. Like the difference between DreamWorks the company and DreamWorks the animation studio. But
Yes.
I can definitely tell you that DreamWorks the company started out because Jeffrey Katzenberg wanted to be president of Disney, and due to some hullabaloo involving a death, and Eisner wasn't up for it, so he left. They decided that screw this, I'm gonna make my own company with my good friend Steven Spielberg, and we're gonna make animated movies just like Disney, but better than Disney. We're gonna make Prince of Egypt. That's right. That's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna release it on Thanksgiving 1998. And this is gonna segue into Antz.
Okay.
Because Katzenberg was still part of Disney when Pixar was working on Toy Story. Katzenberg was actually involved with some of the story ideas, and then when he left, they were still gummy, Lasseter was still talking with Katzenberg and still sharing his ideas, and he was saying oh, we got this new Antz movie we're gonna do. Check out all this stuff. And oh, that's cool. When's it coming out? Oh, we're thinking Thanksgiving 1998. Oh, that's weird. That's the same time that the Prince of Egypt is gonna come out. Huh. And then nothing happened for a while, and then all of a sudden, Pixar gets the news that DreamWorks bought a CGI studio with the stipulation, I believe Katzenberg said straight up, make me an Ant movie within 18 months. You gotta make an Ant movie that's gonna beat A Bug's Life. And they obviously they got really pissed off at each other, and it hasn't been the same since. And
No.
this rivalry is gonna show up again and again. Because Katzenberg is a petty asshole.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Just wait until we get to a very famous DreamWorks movie franchise. Just wait.
Oh yes, but we're not there yet because and just to show how busy DreamWorks is gonna be, this isn't even the last movie of 1998. There's 2 months later, they still released A Prince of Egypt. So
DreamWorks is they're. I don't know how they do it. I'm not gonna say that this is good on DreamWorks. They're mostly doing this because Jeffrey Katzenberg. I'll say his name. I'll be the one. Jeffrey Katzenberg is a petty jerk, but the fact that you look through their lineup, there's typically at least 2 movies every year.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
I know that they had separate anime, like I said, Prince of Egypt was already in production for a while.
Yeah.
So I think there was already a different company or just some sort of other in-house studio that they were working with. And again, we can talk about that when we get to there. But it was specifically them buying Pacific Data Images, which was also an old friend of Pixar, and now because of this, I started digging into this. There's one point where allegedly the Katzenberg said that this didn't happen, but allegedly he called up Steve Jobs, the owner of Pixar at the time, and said, if you move the release date for A Bug's Life, I'll scrap Antz. He was ready.
Oh my god! I didn't know that.
God.
Oh my god!
What?
The thing is, like I said, he denies it. People at DreamWorks deny it. I'm kind of choosing to believe it just because it shows how much of a petty asshole he is.
Yeah,
and because it kind of I can absolutely see this movie being disposable.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point when we talk about ants.
Yep, Antz. Who wants to do a plot synopsis?
I talked way too much. My mouth is dry already.
Do you want to do it?
Sure. There's Ant named Z.
Yeah, Z.
I forgot his name.
Oh.
And
It's one letter.
Yep, one letter. The last letter of the alphabet. And he is having an existential crisis about how he's insignificant, and it's confirmed by his therapist. And he lives in a world where either you're a worker ant or a soldier ant. And he meets this queen ant who he's who has the hots for. So he pretends
Princess.
to be whatever.
Princess Ada. I mean Princess Bala.
Princess Bala. Oh my God, it's Bala. Jesus Christ. Ada Bala. Oh my God. And he switches places with Sylvester Stallone Ant to be a soldier while Sylvester's a worker. And they go to war, and he's the only one who survives. And then he's kidnaps the princess, and they try to go to Insectopia. And also, there's this ant who wants to wipe out half of the population.
Yes. It's so much like A Bug's Life.
Yeah, so much. You can tell who got ripped off.
And you know what? I'll be the one to say it. I liked it more than I liked A Bug's Life. I feel like I'm alone on this, but I liked it a lot more, actually.
I really need to think about that because I was gonna watch A Bug's Life after watching this, but I was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, that was my plan too, and then I didn't.
So I've done something that I haven't done in 4 years.
Watch A Bug's Life?
Finding Nemo, which was a delight. An absolute
I was wondering
delight.
why you wanted to know what my Disney Plus was.
That's right. Yeah. No. I watched The Bug's Life again it's been 4 years. It's been so long, and I hate to be the one to say it. It's still not very good. It's still not very good.
Yeah.
I'm not like angry at it. I'm just bored. It was just really boring.
Did you do your laundry this time?
At first, I was like warming up to it. It's like, oh, this is like this is kind of there's some funny moments. I really like the stick bug Flick, I think his name is. No, not Flick.
I'm quitting the podcast. Goodbye.
Slim, you uncultured swine.
Don't make me think about Flick, please.
No, but I like the stick bug, and that was pretty much it. Like the rest of it was like really boring.
Yeah.
It's not that good. And I hate this. I still think that A Bug's Life is better than Antz. Only slightly better though, because like both of them are not good.
Yep. I haven't seen A Bug's Life in a long time, so I'm not going to answer that question of which is better. But I'll tell you which was more interesting to watch.
Antz by a country mile.
Far. Oh my God.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You knew what the motions with A Bug's Life. I did not know what to expect with this goddamn movie.
Yeah, see, like, so here's the thing about Antz that's so much fun to me. Like, there's a lot that happens in the movie. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm so fascinated by the choices, good or bad. I'm so fascinated by the choice. But, like, once every 15, 20 minutes, there's this scene, and I'm just like, that was legitimately, like, really good.
Yeah. Like, there's some good talent in this movie.
Absolutely. Like you know, Pacific Data Images, like they were doing like a ton of good shit. Despite it being a rush job, like when I went back to I'll say this straight up. When I went back to Bug's Life after watching Antz, I was like, this feels so small scale. Like it feels like there's like 50 ants compared to Antz.
Oh my God.
Like there's more, but like it is like when I went back to Antz, it's like, oh my God, there's like thousands of these ants on screen. There's just so many.
Granted, they all look alike, but so do they do in A Bug's Life.
Well, so that's my thing, actually. I was actually kind of by like the background ants. Like, I can't tell you what the difference between ant number 2 and ant number 3,000 is. but when there is 10 ants on a screen at once, if I look at all their faces, I can tell you that's Ant A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I can't tell you what their names are, what their personalities or their voices.
Yeah.
Unless they're, named and important, obviously.
Yeah.
But A Bug's Life, there's the ones I hate. But all the background ants, it's like, I can't tell
there's
you.
Flick, and there's everyone else who's like pale.
Yeah.
Literally, the only thing different is either the colors are different or the grandma ant. I love how both queens virtually do nothing in the movies. Antz does a little bit more because she's essential to the plot, but only because, like in the other one, they want to kill her.
Yeah, see, she's relevant to the plot, and this is the only thing I'm going to say in A Bug's Life defense. She's relevant to the plot, but she doesn't look like an Oddworld character, so it's like, I don't know. It's a toughie.
If we're gonna be talking about ugly designs, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh god!
I don't know if either of you have seen that one like gross CGI clip. What was it called? The glob.
Oh god!
Oh
you
yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Oh god!
Like I every time I looked at Weaver, I was like, I fucking hate this face. I know it's supposed to be Sylvester Stallone, and that's what I hate about it. It is so
I'm
ugly.
the globs everybody.
You the ant.
Oh man, I got to that and I was like, maybe this movie wasn't very good after all.
Yeah. Oh my god. There were times where I forgot this movie was a kids movie because you hear
it's not really.
I heard the word bitchin' at one point, and like
he was talking about erotic fantasies. Like
you were right, Dad. You were one step away from being in my erotic fantasies.
Which as it turns out, was like partly a Woody Allen quote. Like, thanks a lot, movie.
Thanks a lot, Woody Allen. Ugh.
It feels so much, and I don't think it was like an intentional choice, but it felt so much like maybe Katzenberg. I don't think Katzenberg had as much effect on this, but it really felt like everything Bug's Life did, we're gonna do the exact opposite. All the bugs are like roughly the same sizes. We're gonna make them actually proportionate, and like the wasps are gonna be gigantic compared to the ants.
The anthill's barely in the movie. Well, guess what? This is a major setting here.
It's so funny. It's so funny because the core of both movies is socialism. So it's so funny that like that's the same. Everything else is different, and that's kind of why. Like, this is something that really bothers me about A Bug's Life. My friends say a lot that it's like, oh, A Bug's Life, it's so good, it's so socialist. And it's like, the socialism message is so poorly done. But that's kind of what I liked about the exact opposite of A Bug's Life. I actually thought it was a lot more direct. But with things like this, I kind of feel like you should be. And that's kind of why I liked how Antz handled it a little bit more.
The workers control the means of production.
At the same time, it's like confused because it's trying to do like both. It's trying to do both, like the workers control the means of production, and I can be my one self. I am John Galt. Like it's like, what is this? What is going on? What? Like, are you doing every ant for themselves, or are you doing like we are stronger together? Which is it? The answer is we're doing a Mountain Dew commercial.
All right, I'm just going to be the one to say it, though. The ants have not aged well. They've aged better than I expected, but they still kind of don't look that great.
I think they look, if you ignore not even their faces, their expressions, I think they look okay. Then you look at their expression, they're never changing one singular expression.
Yep.
And it's like, oh.
Woody Allen always has a confused face.
Oh, and like, what's his name? General Mandible, the big bad ant. When he's like giving this really angry, passionate speech, and he has the most like neutral default look on his face.
It's a neutral snarl, yeah.
Because you know what? So I didn't know that the movie was rushed this fast, but I am so not surprised.
Yeah, no. Oh
no,
my God.
no. I think they put like a ton of the time into like the crowd scenes because again, it's like, oh, you guys have like 200 ants in one scene. We have like 7,000,
And we're gonna kill them all.
We're gonna drown all of them with like some of the bad water at simulation.
Some of the worst.
It doesn't even make sense like within the context of it because like sometimes it's like water is like a little droplet and sometimes it's like an entire ocean. It doesn't make any sense.
It's not the worst graphics you see. My favorite part is we're jumping all over the place with this, by the way. It's gonna be one of those movies.
Yeah,
It's probably gonna be one of those.
Honestly, but one of my favorite like animated moments, and I say this in the most sarcastic way possible, is when they go outside and the picnic, and it's just this bunch of poorly animated product placement.
Oh, I can't. I'm so glad you noticed that. They looked. Oh my God, they look so bad. You know what they look like? I don't know if you ever played like Mario Odyssey, where like you watch like a person walking from very far away, where it's just like 2 frames per second. That's what it looks. It looks like they didn't have time to animate it that far away. And also there are like some shots. I swear, there's some shots where they're not using CGI at all. They're using like painted backdrops. Like Insectopia. Insectopia straight up looked like a painting. It did not look like CGI.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
I don't know if they like left it there as a like that was supposed to be like a template that they were supposed to use and they were gonna do the CGI later, or if that was their plan, just like cut like cost and development time. But woof. Oh my goodness.
The animation is rough. It's very rough.
Do we want to keep talking about the animation, or do we want to not jump all over the place and talk about Z?
Okay, fine. Let's talk about Woody Allen Antz, because
it's literally
Woody
him.
Allen as an Antz.
It's literally that.
I mean, you both say that, but it's like I legitimately have no idea who this is. And I mean, I he's annoying. I don't know if people like Z's character. I don't mind too much. Like, I mean, I can think of so many movies where this character is worse, but the voice. Oh.
Yeah. If you're not totally bought on like Woody Allen as a performer, then this is not the movie for you.
This is not the movie for you.
Like, I thought that he, like, the therapy scene, I liked it, and then he kept talking.
Yeah, because that had like 10,000 like ant puns. That therapy.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, there's that, but I thought like it fit a little better. I don't know, like, I mean, I can't imagine anybody going to therapy not talking like that. How's that?
Yeah, that's fair. Like talking like nervously like that. Okay, fine.
I will say it's an interesting start to the movie.
I actually did get a kick out of the punchline. It's like, now we're making progress. Really? Yeah, you are insignificant.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you see his face. He's like, oh.
Also, I'll give credit where credit is due. The world building is better than I expected in this movie.
Yeah, like the whole thing with the termite. I was kind of like, I mean, the termites didn't wind up mattering beyond that first slaughter, which, I mean, is important to the movie. I'm just saying they weren't relevant after that, but like,
I'm just talking about like the social class thing of like work.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And
yeah, that's true.
It's much better. It's much better
decided
than
by random.
Yeah, it's much better than everybody collects food like Bugs Life.
Yeah. And this anthill just happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also like it again, get into like the weird like political satire. It also becomes like the general. I feel like we're jumping again. Hold on, maybe I'll hold off on that. If we're still talking about we're
talking about my erotic fantasies.
Talking about his erotic fantasies. I think the main problem with Z is that he just keeps talking.
Yeah, no, that's mine. That's mine.
He just keeps talking.
He just keeps
like,
talking. Even
and there's
Bala
where,
says, "You talk too much." Well, you know, well,
he's literally just like he talks too much. He overthinks. He's overly sexual for some odd reason.
He's down bad.
Yeah, doubt he is straight.
I was waiting for you to finish that. But I was like,
like how many times, like the word like "youch," like actually being like a plot important.
Oh, you're the guy, and I'm like, every time he said that, I would cringe. And then he's like, I'm gonna be my own person. I'm gonna go to Insectopia.
I like the character is fine. It's just he got it like. The stuttering is what annoyed me. I mean, outside of the erotic fantasy thing, which, like, it's a meme to me. That's,
yeah.
I can't take it seriously enough to be, like, disturbed by an Ant's erotic thoughts. Like, it's too stupid.
There was one line where I literally was like, oh, please, ew. And it was, like, right after the kiss with, Sharon Stone Ant. And, it was like, you talk too much. And then he said, like, something and be like, I'm gonna be the strong, silent type. And I'm like, ew, shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I felt like
Woody
he
Allen
improv that.
also did like this is partly like screenwriters trying to write like Woody Allen and Woody Allen himself writing like Woody Allen because he also like contributed to the script. Yep. So like this is infused with Woody Allen-ness, even though he's not credited with any of the writing.
Yep.
It's like I don't know.
See, like, his role in this story of being, you know, he's the one Ant that's kind of fed up with the situation that, you know, is very much capitalist. I'll say it. He's, he doesn't have that many friends, but the people that are friends with him, like, you know, it's mostly, you know, they kind of, you know, he's a little weird, but, you know, humor him, you know, he's there, you know, he's, you know, easy to be friendly with, you know, whatever. His character is fine. Even like Barbados, like, you know, when he was like, oh, you're funny. Like, I get it because you're not used to hearing stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's just, I guess if I had to guess, Woody Allen just was too much.
Yeah.
And if not Woody Allen the person, then Woody Allen the figure was too much.
I've only seen one Woody Allen film, Annie Hall, which also had Christopher Walken in it.
Yeah.
Was a much better Christopher Walken as well. Like this is the least Christopher Walken.
Yeah, I was expecting more.
But there's like one line where there's like there he is, where it says like, "What are you doing? Something I should have done a long time ago."
A long time ago.
That's a weird pause in there. That was like so unnecessary. It's like there he is. But most of the time he's just the lackey. Like it could have been like anyone, but instead,
actors are not voice actors.
Yeah,
they can be, but they're not the same thing.
The thing is,
that's I think is like a common theme with this is that like because it's Jeffrey Katzenberg who is also like partly responsible for like why Robin Williams stopped working with Disney because of Katzenberg's like petty shit. But like the common theme is stunt casting. Yep. Like if they're going for all the big names, especially the big names in 1998, and not much else. Like if you want to see Woody Allen, Gene Hackman, Sylvester Stallone, Jennifer Lopez, like all
he's in this movie.
All these people. Yep, she plays the Azteca.
Oh no, I got it wrong. Another friend of Z's
like,
and a worker
ant
who becomes Weaver's girlfriend. I'm on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah, because she had nothing to do with anything, and like literally all she is like I don't know what they were doing, but it's stunt casting. Like it just feels like we're getting some big names in here so that we can get people into the theater, whether or not they're actually good for the part. Like at least like Tom Hanks was a decent name, but also he was still good as Woody.
Yeah,
not Woody Allen. Woody. maybe that was what happened. Is that like Jeffrey Katzenberg was like, well, they had a Woody. I know.
Let's get a Woody with a last name.
Let's get a Woody with a last.
We'll get a Woody with half of the last name of Buzz.
It all comes together.
Woody Allen, Tom Hanks is Woody, Tim Allen, Buzz, Woody Allen.
Yeah. There we go. Boom. Ship it.
Jeffrey Katzenberg is sitting at his desk. I never thought anybody would figure it out. I'm so mad.
Oh my god.
That's it. Next video Random Bystander Here makes, we got a copy for our next movie.
Yes.
Oh my god, he's making his own. He's making a TikTok about the dog island. We gotta spend $2 billion making our own for Quibi. I gotta put a Quibi.
We'll call it
there.
Dogs.
Dog.
Or
Okay.
pubs.
Pubs.
I guess.
So next on the Wikipedia article is General Mandible. Do we want to talk about him next?
He was.
I guess so. What? Huh?
I want to kill half the population and have the strongest ants, even though the worker ants are the ones who did all this work.
Yeah, because
capitalism. Like you have to look at ants as two things. One, we hate Disney and we hate Pixar. And two, anti-capitalist socialist. Like that's the only two ways you can look at the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's also like a weird like. I can't believe I'm gonna use this word in a work in progress podcast. Ubermensch, like a weird like onion race thing. Like we're gonna get like the superior soldier ants.
Yeah.
Like what are the soldier ants gonna do? Walk around? Get killed? Why did you kill off so many of those soldier ants in the first place? If you're gonna try to do a new race with only soldier ants, what is the goal here?
Where did you go?
See, I could say that it's like, you know, only the absolute strongest, but at the beginning of the movie when Christopher Walken Ant gave him the list, he was like, there are some fine people on this list. It's like, oh, you're just a villain, okay?
Yeah, he's literally just I want to take over the world. Or the anthill. I'm evil. That's it. That's him. He wants to be capitalistically evil.
Yeah.
I won't say that it's like it's fascist. It's definitely fascist.
Yeah, I guess that's technically more correct.
Yeah. It's definitely like his whole thing is that he's like war crazy, and he's talking about like about washing away the scum. Like he's talking fascist shit.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about fascism in the DreamWorks podcast?
Antz.
See,
like we didn't talk about socialism in A Bug's Life because the movie sucked, but like Bug's Life was super socialist. It just went about it in like a horribly bland, messy manner. Like, oh, our movie about socialism involves circus bugs and Act 3 breakups.
And P.T. Flea.
And John Ratzenberger, yes. Very social.
Oh, question. Claire, did you think, like, when there was, like, they realized he wasn't a soldier, were you worried?
There are a lot of things that I was worried about. This movie has tropes. I mean, every movie has tropes, but this movie has tropes, but it doesn't have, like, the awful ones. Except for, I guess, annoying main characters.
I was fully expecting I never thought I'd see the day. I was fully expecting
I braced myself just because I didn't want to, like, wake up people in the next state over.
No, instead it just be like, right away, he's an asshole who just kidnapped the princess, but also didn't kidnap the princess because he's just like, fine, I don't care. I'm going to Insectopia. You can come back.
Yeah. You kidnapped me. That means you have to bring me back. No.
That's right. You have certain responsibilities here, okay?
I did think that was a funny line. I like that.
It was interesting when he was like, he and the princess were backing away. He's like, he's kidnapping the princess. I'm not kidnapping you. Oh wait, I am kidnapping you. Like that was pretty funny.
He gets like the ice cream or whatever. He's like, one more step and she's dead. And then she starts beating him up.
It's just like hors d'oeuvres. Just like, what is threatening them with appetizers?
Yeah. See, okay, so like that would be like very not funny, but everyone's like, he's gonna kill her.
No, wait. He's got a point.
And then she starts beating him up, and they're still like, quick, while she's beating up her kidnapper, save her from the kidnapper.
Are we talking about the kidnapping? Are we taking that into Princess Bala?
We can. I mean, it makes sense.
Princess Bala, who's played by Sharon Stone, who's like good actor, but
good actor, terrible role.
Better than you know who.
Yeah,
I don't want to say her name. Better than you know who.
Better than Dot. Yeah, I'll grant that.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking of Dot, but thank you for reminding me of Dot, because now I'm even angrier. No, I'm talking about the other one, Princess. What's her name?
Ada.
There we go. Thank you.
ABBA, just to not say her name and bring up a cool band.
Yeah. Yeah, if you mishear somebody say Ada, then yes, you'll be thinking of ABBA. Thank you.
I don't know. It's just
like at first it seems like okay, they're gonna be doing a like almost like a Princess Diary thing. Oh no, not Princess Diary, Princess Bride. You know what I'm talking about?
You mean like how he's engaged to she's engaged to Humperdinck, but she's gonna fall in love with this guy instead?
Yeah. But instead, like like I guess kidnapping somebody spoils the mood. Because she's like, as soon as he gets like kidnapped, there's actually it's like as soon as he leaves the dance, it's like they don't know. She doesn't care. Like there's no real there's no real chemistry because like immediately she's just be like, listen, I'm out of your league, okay? Like literally, that she said, I'm out of your league. Like what? And then they just like they fall in love. Because that's what the movie needs. There's no point of them like having a like a real connection together. They just they just fall in love.
Yeah,
but watch, don't you understand? They have Youch.
Youch. For some reason, saying that like Christopher Walken.
Sorry, Claire. Continue. I just wanted to make that joke.
No. You were correct in doing that. But the whole thing with at least the way that I read the movie was that she never really had interest in him. It was just kind of like a one-off thing. So when he showed up again, she was just like, "Oh, it's you at the bar," and then that started like that whole thing started. Like there wasn't ever really chemistry to begin with. It was just main character bug. Oh my god, kill me. Main character Antz. Getting in over his head, and then this is what happens. There's actually no chemistry, and it's like, okay, now it's like, oh, she's actually just this bratty princess, and now he has to deal with this, and now he doesn't want her in his most erotic fantasies. Like, this is that part's a little sus, but otherwise, like, it worked for me. And then they fell in love anyway, and I was like, oh.
If they just stayed friends,
or even if like there was something that built up to the romance, it was just like, you're not that bad. Well, I could be the strong silent type, and then we all grin.
I mean, I would be. A part of me was about to go. Well, to be fair, he did save her life, but no, he didn't.
Yeah, not really. The penny saved their lives in all actuality.
She saved his life. Like there's the point where like he's like bound in like a water bubble, and then they moved on.
Yep.
And then there's the thing with the gum where like. It would have like continued on either way. Like there was no real saving. It was just like they were in the same spot together, and then they get scraped off a shoe. And that's another thing. That's another thing that makes this like very anti-Budge Life is that they're gonna have like actual human beings who are actual threats.
Yeah,
like them stepping on the ass, them using fly swatters. Then using like magnifying glasses.
It's so beautiful.
I imagine being in like an audience in late 1998 and hearing the same joke in two different Ant movies.
Hey, one of them leads to one getting shocked by a lamp. The other leads to a laser.
This one was so much funnier. I like this one so much. I actually like stopped the movie, like my jaw dropped Because like you see him melting.
Yeah, he's just like incinerated.
Yes, you see his face like he dies with that smile on.
Yeah. And then that's what it ends.
There's a lot of like graphic stuff in here. Like that whole scene, the war scene. Oh my god,
the war scene. Oh my god, are we gonna talk about the best part of the movie early, or
is that the best part?
I think it's the best part. Easy. What else is there?
Good point.
Not many. I don't know that there is a best part. For me, there's like best moments.
But yeah, you do the whole march thing where like they do like this whole like chant. It's like the and then you just see Woody Allen terrified, and then they're just ambushed by termites, and it just becomes so graphic.
Yes, exactly. If I saw this when I was a kid, I'd be mortified.
Oh my god!
All good kids movies should have.
Yeah,
like it's just all of a sudden turned into like Starship Troopers. Like this is exactly what I think that's Starship Troopers. Like because that's like this is exactly like they have like giant ants that like spitting acid and making all the soldiers melt. Like what? But I guess it's like, oh, we gotta earn that PG-13 rating, and we'll have like a scene of like Woody Allen trying to comfort a beheaded soldier.
Jesus Christ!
Don't do what I did, kid. Don't let other people control your life. and that is becoming such an annoying theme where just like somebody just like saying, "I want to be an individual," and that's enough for everybody else to go like, "Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're all individuals."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing with Z is that when they found out he was a soldier, they were like, "You're not allowed to be a soldier, are you?" And then it's literally like gossip and word of mouth. Like it's this easy.
Yep. And literally how like Z just becomes the symbol of
like
rebellion.
immediately, yeah.
He's like Lenin. He just like disappears, and then everybody's just making their own images of him with the movement. That falls apart anyway because like the mandible, like he doesn't like refute it with like I don't know anything to say. His thing is just like, well, if Z's so good, then where is he now? And everyone's like, oh my god, I never thought about that.
I didn't even think about that. Oh shoot, checkmate.
It's like, that's it? And then it's just like, listen, I'll give you all a day off. Yeah, day
That
off.
was funny though. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
That was almost like
I would do that for a day off.
Honestly, me too.
It's like I can't remember the exact like headline, but there's like an Onion headline where it's like a unionization effort thwarted by company bringing in free pizza. That.
Yes, exactly. That's what this is. It's an Onion article.
Yeah. Like it's just like, oh, a day off. Yeah, I could use a day off. Yeah. And then it turns out like, no, there was no day off.
Yeah, your day off is death.
Yeah.
Which I mean, again,
yeah,
relatable.
Yeah, they're just like working them to the bones. I guess there's nothing else to say about Bala.
No,
there's just not much else to say about Mandible. I guess if we're going straight from the list of the top casting, we got Sylvester Stallone and Weaver.
Yep.
I don't know, trying to do a crunk thing, and like Stallone just didn't give much, but he was just like muscle ant.
He was just literally like that. That's literally it. He was just
he
like
was Sylvester Stallone as an ant. It's like they thought that like, oh, when we get Sylvester Stallone, then he'll make the character. And it's like, no.
Yeah, no.
Like
I didn't have much to really think about him. I thought he was fine.
He had like one great line where like Z is trying to convince him to like switch places, and he says like you know how much trouble you can get into for even talking about impersonating a soldier. You can get into trouble for even listening to someone talk about impersonating a soldier, and everybody else just goes right back to bed.
That was great.
That felt like Warner Brothers. That felt That felt pretty good. That was a really good line.
I do like how he's a loyal friend, I guess, to Z, even though
Yeah, I guess you see like a big burly type like him, and you would expect, oh, he's just a sleaze, a womanizer, especially because how much he, likes the female ants or whatever he said. But no, he's always thinking about Z because they're good buddies.
yeah,
That's pretty cool, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, they were like born like seconds away apart from each other. And, like,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm seconds older than you, buddy.
Yeah, like he's gotten the muscles for it, and like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But then like at first he's just like, oh, I love jigging. This is, you get to move dirt. It's so cool. And then like toward the end he's just like miserable, and he's like,
Well, it's not that he hates digging, it's that Z was gonna get killed, I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, kill Z. But you said, so long, soldier.
Yeah, he was
I
mad.
know he doesn't say so long, soldier. He's not Mario, but you know what I mean.
So long, soldier.
soldier.
No, this would be so long, straight soldier.
Straight soldier. Yeah, there's no gay.
No.
No gay in him.
Anyway,
yeah.
There's not much to say about him. It's just Sylvester Stallone. That's a lot of thing I know. It's just them, the actors doing their thing.
There's nothing much to say about Sharon Stone, Sylvester Stallone, Jennifer Lopez. Like,
I didn't even know that was her.
literally all it is like become girlfriend of Stallone Ant.
Yep. And even Christopher Walken doesn't do much. Like,
no.
Again, actors and voice actors can be the same thing. 9 times out of 10, they are not. If you're a great actor, you're gonna find voice acting. You have your Jack Blacks, right? Where, incredible actor, incredible voice actor, good on you. But that's not most.
What helped with like Jack Black is that like he had his like style can like, he can put that into like an R-rated film just as much as you can do it on like the Kids' Choice Award. Yep. Like he can, like he fits for that sort of energy, and it's clear that they're going for something like much more realistic compared to cartoonist Pixar, where like the answer, like the Pixar ants are like technically they're more pleasing to look at, but they just kind of get boring. And here's like, well, I guess we're gonna make them more realistic and like having like ugly faces, which I guess is like a step up, because I guess they're like memorably bad.
Nothing really much to say though.
Like Danny Glover and he dies.
Yeah, he dies. It was kind of very gruesome to see his head. Just the only thing left.
I was expecting a little more blood. I guess they couldn't push it that far, but
no,
it's still kind of brutal and just like a weird like whiplash. The war seems more like some sort of reason for Z to eventually meet up with the princess.
Yep.
Because like it's not like he like Z says like, everyone, the battle was an absolute hoax. He was letting us all out to die. It doesn't come up again. Like it comes up like once when like he says like, and then I saw his head, and he told, and like it was such a gruesome battle, and Princess Bala's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then that's it. Yep. No, it doesn't. Like if you take that out, you're not getting much change.
Nope.
Like it's just a reason for Z to eventually kidnap the princess.
Yep.
Like the plot is just kind of like scattershot in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's messy, but it doesn't work all together for like the story, but it all comes together for the message. So I guess that's why it didn't bother me so much. Like it's messy and not great, but I mean the message is. I'm not even talking about A Bug's Life here. We're just ignoring that because.
Yeah.
But it's still like a. I actually did not know that this movie was PG-13. I thought it was PG.
I thought it was PG too.
Oh no! Like with all the lines about crap and damn. Like no, they had to earn it.
Yeah, it's PG-13. Yeah, but I mean for a PG-13 movie, like I mean, it's it's easy to be like, hey, listen, kids, bad people bad, good people good. This is socialist movie. Go be something, whatever. I don't care. But that's why I think for a movie with a more socialist theme, yeah, a lot of times it's like, okay, this is a little much. You're saying it a lot, but you have to kind of push this point home, because if not, then it's just like you're not. I don't want to say you're doing a bad job, but because it's going against such expected norms, I guess. I mean, even for when this movie came out, this was peak. Well, I mean, maybe not peak, but it's nearing peak. Animated movies are for kids.
Yup.
It's that era. So to see something have this style and to have the message of anti-fascist, pro-socialist is not, and actually have it the characters are actually talking about this. Yep. There's stuff like the war scene where it might feel disconnected from the story, but that's really what kind of pushes Z. And I don't know. I mean, things like the war scene feeling disconnected from the story and stuff. Also, yeah, it's a tonal whiplash, but I mean, think of how many movies there are that have complete, horrific tonal whiplashes. And it's just it's terrifying. And it's wow, that was so cool. More movies should have this. And then a movie that's weird has it. And it's man, less movies should have this. It's I loved it. I was this is the same movie, right? I was living for it. And then Barbados died, and I went, Barbados Slim from Futurama, no. But then it had the freaking shot of Z holding his head and crying into it as it zoomed out, where you just see the dismembered corpses of a ton of termites and ants. Yes. And I'm this is a DreamWorks movie. Yeah. I was living for it.
I will admit. Yeah.
We'll find out what a DreamWorks movie is as we go along.
Yeah. The thing is, though, it was different it's different from Disney and different from Pixar, and you gotta give credit where credit is due. It's a lot more interesting than the other Bug movie.
Oh yeah,
I probably would want to look at A Bug's Life more, but I guess this is technically the more interesting story, even though it's a more interesting story, but without being more interesting characters.
Name one interesting character in A Bug's Life.
P.T. Flea.
He's not interesting. He's fun. He's not interesting.
No, the stick bug I just said. Yeah, he's fun.
You did not say fun. You said interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody in A Bug's Life is interesting.
It's interesting to have a guy whose whole pathology is being a stick.
Now, it's not interesting.
When you put it like that,
fun.
no, it's not interesting.
If you think it's fun, good on you. But how is that interesting?
I don't know. I was hanging on to his every word, unlike every other character.
Okay, I'll give you one. Hopper is kind of interesting.
And that's the one that I can maybe not even disagree, but I don't know if I'm fully on board, but I get it. Yeah.
He's an interesting antagonist, but
yeah. Okay. You got me there. Okay.
Yeah.
At least Hopper. At least his death is interesting.
Oh my god.
He literally
he just fell.
Splat.
I thought there was going to be something more. I thought it was going to be him saying, no, as the water rises up and drowns him. I thought there was going to be something more interesting. No. He just fell. And
what was his thought? What was his thought process? And he went, and he tackled him. What was your thought process?
I guess he was crazy with fascism at this point.
Yeah.
Listen, kids watching this PG-13 movie. If you're a fascist, you're gonna jump off a cliff. Don't do it.
Yeah, and you won't land in the water.
I do have to make a correction. It turns out it is PG. I guess it's a barely PG movie.
Yeah.
No, it's the 90s was the tail end of the you could say whatever you want and still be PG.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Antz is a prime example.
It wasn't as wild as the 80s, but it was still the tail end of that period.
Yeah. But yeah, I just laughed when he felt
that was so funny. That was so funny.
It's Did he say like the ending of A Bug's Life and said we can do it better? It was just fall down a hole.
I'll give Antz also this. The opening shot and the closing shot of Antz is actually pretty interesting. I will admit that. Because the opening shot, it looks like New York City, Empire State Building, all that, but then you see it's just a bunch of leaves in those shapes.
Oh yeah, the grass. Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end, you see the actual city.
Yeah, you see like what the entire adventure was, which is like this tiny area of a park.
Yep.
Which is very similar to the opening and closing shots of A Bug's Life. But like that one was more trying to sell like the look of it, like the CZ water, the lush tree, like okay, it was trying to sell you on this colorful world, and this is selling more on like the cityscape. Oh, I guess this is the point where I can segue this over to Insectopia, which is the most nothing burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. It's just like it was
a trash can.
It was sort of the joke. The punchline being that Insectopia was a trash can.
Yep.
Okay. That's it.
That is an insect's paradise, a trash can.
Yeah, and then like what I thought was gonna happen was there's gonna be some sort of, because like I thought they were gonna continue with the political satire. I thought there was gonna be some sort of fallout with Insectopia, where it turns out it's not the paradise they thought it was, or that like or like it turns out that this bohemian lifestyle isn't for them. But no, Christopher Walken shows up and then takes away the princess, and
I gotta admit, that's a pretty big plot hole with the movie. Christopher Walken making something not a utopia. Like, how did the writers not see that?
I know, right? Also, he's the only ant that can fly?
Yeah, he was the only flying ant, I think.
He's the only one in the main cast. Like of the like the main one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which really, why not have like the general ant Mandible? Why not have him fly?
As if he flies, then he won't be able to fall to his death and hit the ground.
I was just gonna say that. You made me do it.
It feels like such a missed opportunity that like there's literally one person in this main cast that can fly. Like I feel like that would like open up so many possibilities, but
yeah.
It was just like they just had like a couple flying ants so that they could have like in that scene like hurrah hurrah
hurrah,
where they show like flying ants up above to like, you know, look like fighter pilots in the war.
God. This movie's something.
Can I say something that I did like? I could tell that Wash isn't gonna agree with me. I liked the Wasp. I thought they were good.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd was pretty good.
Dan Aykroyd and what's the other actor's name?
Jane Curtin. I'm looking at Wikipedia right now.
Yeah. Jane Curtin.
Yes.
Both of them from Saturday Night Live. So I don't know if they're like reviving a character from Saturday Night Live. I mean, it's obvious they're doing like it's wasps who are acting like wasps. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. I hope I pronounced that right. The whole idea being them being like suburban like upper class, like snooty, like the muffing being like they're hideous, they're poor, they're gross. We should help them.
I loved this. It's like it's not as it came more out of left field than the worst scene, I guess. When the fly swatter comes down, Z and Bala are okay, and then you hear the one wasp go, "Muffy, no!" And you see like her dismembered corpse and lifeless eyes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I give so like,
yeah, that would be another scene that would scar me if I saw this as a kid.
And this movie would have. I wish I saw this movie as a kid.
I feel like I might have seen this as a kid, but it was like so so long ago that I don't remember because this was 1998. So it was a good chance that like my parents took me to see this movie, or like we watched it on video or something. Because this is definitely one of those like VHS movies.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
This is one of those
I mean,
Stars movies.
I feel like maybe not. Maybe not. I was gonna say A Bug's Life was like that too, but I don't know if that's just my bias or not.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna say, well, a lot of movies are like that, and it's like, well, no, not really.
Yeah. I like the Wasp, and I also like how he comes back. He's like, oh God, how am I gonna get back?
He's a drunk because he's drinking because the fact that his wife is dead.
He's drinking the fact that his wife is dead, but he's like, I'll help you. It's got my
I'll help
favorite
you.
one.
And then it says like, well, how about we get some coffee first? I saw a coffee puddle over there.
Now you're turning into Jimmy Stewart.
I mean, that's what he was sounding like to me. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh God, we're dealing with another bug that sounds like Jimmy Stewart a lot later.
A lot later.
He was fine. He just was there for when he was there, and then he left.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
the two wasps had good chemistry together. Then the wife got brutally murdered, and then he became a sad, depressed junk.
Yep. And then, but he helped.
And
out
then he
Z
left the
in end.
movie. Then he left the movie, so it's like, you didn't overstay your welcome. I laughed while you were on screen.
Also, I'm kind of glad they didn't show the human's face.
Yeah. You
Oh my
didn't have to
God,
worry about like Andy.
It's the same. This is like an audio podcast, but I did take some screenshots because there was some shots where it's like, where is the rest of the body? How long?
Yes.
How long is this
Yeah.
fucking leg? This doesn't make any sense. There's no pelvis up there.
Well, that's your fault for assuming these are normal humans. These are actually humans that are just leg and face.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, actually, you know what? Because you said that the opening shot is the grass, but actually you're technically incorrect. The opening shot is the credits, where you have like a realistic thumb. And now, granted, I bought that thumb. There's like a magnifying glass that's showing all the cast members
It's
in like
so
tiny print.
It's
Do you
so
remember?
beautiful.
Yeah. But like when you see like the thumb, like I had that moment. It's like, is this live action? But like no, like the animation, it's very clearly like kind of stiff animation, but like they put a ton of time into trying to make like the human stuff look realistic without showing any of the actual faces.
Yeah.
Like,
which
you gotta zoom
working with limitations. Good on you, DreamWorks.
Yeah, good.
If Pixar couldn't do humans yet, there was no way you guys could.
Yeah.
Well, you're certainly not going to be able to do it in like 18 months.
Yeah. I do want to ask your opinion on something, because this is something that's going to happen in a lot of DreamWorks films that we cover. What were your thoughts on the pop culture song? Like, there was only one in this movie from what I can remember. Like,
Yeah, I think so. I think it's non-intrusive. I also think that, I mean, not every single movie. I'm thinking of a certain third movie that really dropped the ball in this regard. But if there is one thing I think DreamWorks is actually pretty good at, it's using pop culture songs.
Yeah.
Like 8 times out of 10, I think they're actually pretty good. And I think this movie with the pop culture song is
it's literally one.
good enough. Yeah. Yes. I had to make sure I said "guh."
Yeah, and because it's literally just one song, and which just surprised me for a DreamWorks movie, but it also didn't surprise me learning that it took 18 months, and God knows the budget for this thing probably wasn't as crazy as the Prince of Egypt. We'll be there soon.
Look, I'm just gonna say straight up, like, I did like the movie a fair amount. God, I can't wait for Prince of Egypt.
Do we want to transition to our final thoughts? Do we have time left?
I mean, there's still stuff to talk about.
I don't know what else.
I can like go through my notes real quick. Like I already talked about like the backstory of this. Going back going back and forth. There's definitely like a very different approach between Antz and the other Ant movie. Because the Pixar one had like it was really infused with like kids rule that was like getting grating. But so it's like again, it's very clear like which one is the G movie and which one is the PG movie.
Yeah. I remember thinking that in a Bug's Life. Well, I mean, okay, the the Act 3 breakup. I mean, it bothers me for all the reasons under the planet. But when Flick says, "Hey, this is still a great idea. This could work," and Ada says, "You lied to me," that gets me so furious just thinking about it. But then, like,
I was straight up laughing when I rewatched that.
You know what? I'm happy for you. I am so happy for you. But then Flick comes back and the ants stand up for themselves. And like I mean, there is like uplifting, like they like literally fight back, and it's kind of like okay,
yeah.
like they're doing that, like okay. But what I liked about Antz comparatively is that when they made the ladder, I mean it's a bit goofy, okay, but like they're working together instead of it's just kind of like, oh, we can literally fight back. Like it's that easy. Like any socialist movie that it's like, oh hey, let's just do X, right? But in Antz here, they're actually working together to, I mean, in this case, save themselves, but just in general, like they're working together for their cause. I appreciated that a lot, especially compared to, like I said, A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Although, if we're talking about things A Bug's Life did better, Hopper's death, absolutely. This is funny. I'm like, I see Random's face. Absolutely. That's my face right now. But, I can admit, funny, ironically funny. But Hopper definitely had the better dad.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Honestly, with all the gruesome deaths that they had in Antz, I was expecting nightmare fuel level of death from the villain. Or at least the human to come back.
Yeah. No, it was just he was just like driving the political satire of this. Again, like, did you really have to have this be your first one? It just seems like a lot.
Well, I mean, you gotta understand, Jeffrey Katzenberg is the CEO. This had to be the first one. I don't know. It just, I even if you do want to call it satire, I still buy it. It's more than I could say about A Bug's Life.
Yeah, like
I get like. I don't know, like, I mean, I don't want to get too political, and I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm a super socialist, but it's like, socialism sounds pretty heckin' nice when you actually break it down. So when you have a movie that, like, actually does kind of, really go into, even, Antz doesn't really go into it, but it at least presents it in a way that it's like, these characters actually are, talking about it, even directly or indirectly, they're actually, like, really talking about it. I don't want to compare it to A Bug's Life, but the reason why it bothers me in A Bug's Life is because, it's not the workers' ants rising up or whatever it was at Antz, but it's like the ants outnumber us or whatever. Like when Hopper says it, it's like, oh, it's pretty interesting. When the bugs just kind of echo it, it's like, okay, all right, very nice movie for kids, very nice. Here, like, it's still, I mean, it's PG, it's parental guidance, but it's still, kid inclusive.
Yeah.
So given that, maybe that's why it doesn't bother me so much that it's like a lot of the more socialist messages are kind of being drilled into your head, because it's a good thing to teach kids. You should value yourself. You should work together. You should not be a fascist.
Well, yeah, that's see, I don't know, because again, like, it seems to drive the individualism part way more than like the socialism part. Like him like straight up saying like how the villain saying like how dangerous individualism is. Like, okay, God, I get it. You read Ayn Rand. Good for you. God damn.
Oh my God.
It's just like it seems to be having it both ways. I don't know how to. I maybe this is like individual like an individualist socialism or something. I guess there are so many different flavors of it. Maybe
I know exactly. Honestly, that's kind of what my problem with anything. So like I mean, I socialist as an example, but anything in that like line of thought is that there's so many different breeds that it's just like.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when Twitch Plays Pokemon had democracy and anarchy? Can we just stick with that, please?
If I'm gonna go through my notes like scraping for anything left to say, I will say that another scene that I really enjoyed, surprisingly, in like a scene involving Woody Allen that I enjoyed, was when he comes back to the colony and like he goes up to the guards and he's just like, "Hey, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at the tunnel opening ceremony." "Oh, that's right. Yes, I'm gonna be at the tunnel opening ceremony." And then as he goes off, he just keeps just getting more and more confident. He's just saying, "Tunnel. Oh, excuse me, tunnel opening ceremony. Hey, where do you go? Tunnel opening ceremony."
That was pretty clever.
I like that too for the reason you said, but also like, I mean, obviously, like, Z is like, oh yeah, tunnel opening ceremony. I'm getting so good at this, but like. The guards are giving him the same reaction every time, which is, "Oh, yeah, it's that way. There you go." You know what else is that way? There you go.
The timer?
The timer.
Oh my god, thank god.
All right.
Final thoughts.
All right, do we want to start final thoughts positive or negative? Because either I'll go or Watch go.
Let's start with let's start with you then for positive.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to sound like a very strange comparison. The movies have very little in common. But recently I watched another DreamWorks movie, The Bad Guys. And The Bad Guy, I mean, it's going to be like 10 years before we get to The Bad Guys, so I can say what I think about it.
Yeah.
I think The Bad Guys is a very good movie that is teetering on great, but doesn't reach there because of some kind of issues. And it's for very different reasons. I don't want to get into the specifics because I don't want to spoil what I think about The Bad Guys. But that's kind of what I think about Antz. I think this is a very good movie that's teetering on great. I definitely like it less than The Bad Guys because unlike The Bad Guys, which was a lot of fun, this movie, it's a movie. I don't know how else to describe it. What adjective would you use to describe Antz? It's like there are problems with it, and I know if I'm not necessarily saying like, oh, it's DreamWorks and I'm biased towards DreamWorks, but it just DreamWorks has that certain flair to it where I can imagine so many other animation studios tackling this and me just being like, that was kind of a weird movie, kind of boring. I don't really remember, like, who cares? Like, who's Woody Allen? I don't know who that is, but when DreamWorks does it, it's like erotic fantasies? And it's just, I am fascinated by what's going on. It's not like, oh, the movie sucks, but I'm interested, so it's very good. Like, I already think like they've got something going here, just very flawed. And then it's just like things happen and I'm like, I have to see what happens next. You can't just have an ant be burned to death alive under a magnifying glass and then talk about freaking erotic fantasies. My mind is melting, but I have to make sure it doesn't fully melt before the movie ends. I have to see where this goes. And then the direction it goes is that evil fascist ant falls on his face and dies. Like, I am so into it.
That's what it's all leading to.
I am so into it. And it's like, again, is it a perfect movie? No. Is it a great movie? No. Is it good? I think the movie is good enough, and because of how interesting it is, it escalates to me as a very good movie. Not great, but it could have been with more than 18 months and no Jeffrey Katzenberg. This is reality. Those are my final thoughts.
Wash.
Okay.
You go.
Oh, do we want to go? Because I feel like we're going to have a major whiplash here.
That's fine.
Hey, we're talking about ants. You might as well.
Yeah. Amen is perfect for this. No, Wash.
No, I did not like this movie at all. This was like I said, like I barely pick A Bug's Life over Antz, and it's mostly because like A Bug's Life is like it's like pretty but boring, and this is like it's a choice between pretty and boring and like hideous and semi-fascinating, but like only semi, because like the main issues I have is the stunt casting just making the characters so bland and the performance is so forgettable. How do you screw up Christopher Walken? You get Chris. He's the guy that can make that can do the three bears, the three little pigs story, and make that like some of the best things you've ever heard. And he's so boring in this. But like, and the other problem that I have is the story, which is just so scattershot. It is trying to be so many different things, and it never settles straight on it. Sometimes it's a romantic comedy, sometimes it's a political satire, and sometimes it's just a roller coaster ride of like the shoes scene felt like it felt like they were just on a roller coaster ride. They were just like trapped into one of those like I don't know a Tower of Terror sort of thing, where it was just the spectacle of it. Like I could not enjoy Antz. I can definitely agree that it's like it's interesting for story reasons, and that's about it because the characters are not good, and I already wasn't in a mood for Woody Allen, so having to deal with like 97 minutes of him talking about how much he loved Manhattan. No, thank you. Random.
Youch.
He's gonna be like, yeah, it's fine.
It was anticlimactic. Second most anticlimactic after the villain death.
You know how with The Good Dinosaur, I hated the movie, but Claire thought it was so funny to watch the madness. This is how I feel about Antz.
Good.
Like I was ready to hate this film because it was DreamWorks' first animated featured an actor I didn't like. And granted, there was a lot of moments where I'm like, "Oh, come on," or I felt cringy. But it was. I agree. It's fascinating to watch. There's just so much cruel shit going on. There's so much like weird adult humor for an animated movie. And I don't know. I looked forward also to what was happening next. Is it the best movie in the world? Absolutely not. Is it one of the best DreamWorks movies in the world? Absolutely not.
Is it the best DreamWorks movie of 1998?
Absolutely not.
But it's fascinating and intriguing, and I'm glad I watched it just because I saw some of the craziest shit, including a bug get its face melted off by a giant heat laser, an ant falling off a cliff and splatting to the ground, a wasp getting like destroyed by a poorly animated fly swatter, and a wasp, another wasp getting drunk shortly after. The dance scene. We didn't talk about the dance scene.
Oh yeah,
how like it was just like, here's all the ants that can dance.
Here's all the ants that are. This is another thing where it's just like, are you doing the collectivism or individualism? Because they're like, oh, all the ants are like synchronized dances, but like we're gonna do it our way because we're individuals.
Yeah. This was better than I thought it would be. And I mean that as in I expected the lowest of the low. I expected Shark Tale low, and I knew one of our guests was interested in doing
not
it.
As bad as Shark Tale.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I enjoyed watching it. I don't think I will ever watch it again unless for the podcast. So I thought it was all right, pretty interesting, and made me laugh. Youch.
Youch. All right, so it's time for the new segment that we're adding to Living the DreamWorks. Favorite youch moment. We're all going to talk about what our favorite moment of the movie is when a character says youch. Random, would you like to start?
No.
My favorite moment was when he almost died, and then he woke up and he said, "Yeah."
He like very, very romantically said, "Yeah."
Oh God, he did do that. So if I were to rank the movies, I would say out of the one film I saw, Antz is
We have to do this joke.
Oh, yeah.
Every podcast, we have to do this joke.
Yeah,
I think even Higurashi, we did this, even with the knowledge that we weren't going to go back.
and Antz,
Oh, that's true.
Antz is as good as Antz.
Yeah, you know what? I think we can all agree at the end of the day, Antz is not better or worse than Antz.
I hate to be the naysayer here. I'm putting this at the bottom of the list.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what? This works.
Worst DreamWorks movie we've seen so far.
This works. I put it at the top. You put it at the bottom. Random puts it in the middle. It works.
It's great. Oh God, this has been a great first episode.
Oh well, I mean it's DreamWorks, of course. Of course, their first movie is going to be bonkers wild.
And next time.
Okay, their next movie is bonkers wild in a totally different manner.
Yeah.
We're gonna be what we were actually supposed to start with if it didn't get
weren't for
like petty corporate bullshit.
pettiness.
If a high schooler didn't become CEO.
Next time we'll be
we're talking about is the Prince of Egypt.
Yes. I am excited for this one.
I'm so excited.
I am excited. I'm interested. I'm very interested to see where this is gonna go because this is definitely them trying to out Disney.
Yeah.
Obviously with the 2D animation, but also with just like going straight up for like a biblical story, which like
you don't see often.
Disney was not. Imagine Disney trying to do that.
Yeah,
Did they do that?
Never. Hunchback is the closest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Hunchback is definitely the closest.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But this is full on like
they talk about God.
Story.
They talk about God.
We're talking about Moses.
I'm excited. I've never actually seen it before, but I'm excited.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Well, I've seen it a lot. I saw it a lot as a kid, and I think once as an adult. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I've also seen this a lot as a kid. I have a bet that like I saw this a lot in like Sunday school or whatever it wasn't a Sunday class, but like the Catholic like classes that I used to take where they would put this movie on because I mean it's a biblical thing, so you gotta. But also it looks pretty, so the kids aren't gonna complain about it, like with the rapping Bible videos they'll put up otherwise.
But that's for next time. We have said farewell to Antz, and that's all we have to say about Antz. Until then, Wash, do the plug.
If you liked what you listened to, then you can check out our other all the previous podcasts we've done at youtube.com/WRK podcast or WRK.simplecast.com and wherever else you may get your podcast, because we've done a shitload of these Pixar. If you're like, hey, why don't you guys do Pixar movies? Guess
we
what?
already did.
We've done every one of them 4 years ago. So listen to our disgusting audio back then,
and our hot take,
and our hot take
on your favorite movie, The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, everybody's favorite movie.
If you liked A Bug's Life, you're not gonna like this episode. Well, I think
did I ever leave that comment? Or is like, if you like A Bug's Life, I'm sorry.
I think you did. I don't remember.
Maybe.
Either way,
I am the Wash.
I am a random worker ant here.
Is that a thing of something other than Yao?
Oh no, I was gonna do erotic fantasy, but I kind of overplayed it. But thank you, yeah. And I'm Claire Youchel.
Yeah.
Random is so upset that he brought this up. he looks like he's like, why do I do a podcast with these two?
I'm turning the camera off next time.
All right, with that, goodbye.
Bye.